The podcast tonight's going to be 13 minutes long.
Honestly.
All right, we're live. Okay. Welcome to another episode of the OC podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. As always, I am joined by my co-host here, Kenzie Ricky. How are you today?
I'm good. I didn't realize what episode we were in for until it started, and then I was like, you know?
This is a
big boy.
This is probably the most intense episode that we've seen so far, right? I don't think it's close.
Definitely agree. Yeah.
Like it's pretty bad. So are you ready for the synopsis? Oh, well, folks, each week I'm so excited about the synopsis. I'm completely forgetting to mention anything that we normally talk about at the beginning of the episode. But each week, folks, Kenzie and I, we watch the OC, which is available on HBO Max, unless you actually own the box set itself. We watch an episode a week. We are now on the 8th episode, which I'm very excited about. No, sorry, 7th episode. Sorry, 7th episode. I'm way ahead of myself.
I was like, 8, yeah.
Yeah, and you said yeah, so I was like, yeah, it's cool. We're on the 7th episode of the OC this week. We talk about the show. We give you some thoughts throughout the episode, and then we talk about our favorite quotes, and then we give you the MVP of each episode. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've been excited to talk about the synopsis with you. Obviously, last week we had the synopsis, which was pretty solid. This week, obviously, we know what happened, transpired last episode, right? Ryan, Luke, they did the nasty, right? I mean,
Ryan and Luke. Oh man, I missed last episode.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, so Marissa and Luke got freaky. Okay, she was scorned after walking in on Ryan and Gabrielle making out. We had Summer kiss Seth. But this is, so after all this happens, this is the synopsis you go with. Ryan, Seth, Marissa, and Summer plan a trip to Tijuana.
What?
The trip descends into chaos when secrets are revealed and lives are put on the line. That is not how this happens.
They planned a trip that
it's
Marissa
exactly
didn't know was happening until she was in the vehicle.
So
Sure, Jan.
I just
sure.
For
Who wrote this? IMDb, tell me right this second.
Obviously, for those at home are not going to be able to see this, but that's exactly what it says. Look at that. Ryan,
oh my goodness,
Seth, Marissa, Summer plan a trip to Tijuana.
I don't know if everyone listening has watched this episode, but they didn't plan a trip together.
No, it's not even remotely close to how it even comes about. So I was, like I said, whenever I read that, I was very, 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 very excited to kind of witness that.
It's ridiculous. Writing a letter to my state senator.
Yeah,
Ban IMDb.
Actually, the thing about it is you're able to go in and edit these.
I'm gonna do it.
They have to be approved, obviously, but I'm gonna we need to, because these are bad. Like last week was the best one so far, right? It was the best one so far.
Blasphemy.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into the episode here.
This is such a big episode. I literally my first note is, oh my god, it's the Tijuana episode. Yeah. I can't believe it. And then Seth and Ryan are in the kitchen eating cereal like they always do. So cute. Talking about not going to Comic-Con and going to Tijuana, but lying to Cindy and Kirsten.
Absolutely.
So funny. My favorite part of this whole interaction, which has so many quotes, I couldn't even write them down fast enough because there were so many. My favorite one is Seth goes, what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. And Ryan goes, so what happens in Mexico? And Seth goes, I don't know because it stays there. That's why we have to go.
Oh, God.
But did you notice they finally are saying school starts next week? So maybe the next episode they will finally attend school.
Exactly. They'll actually go to school itself. One of my favorite lines was, you want to throw away, because obviously he has this reputation with his parents that he's such a goody two shoes. And Ryan goes, you want to throw it away for Summer in a wet t-shirt doing body shots. And like Seth has like, is that a rhetorical question?
Like, so funny.
I mean, of
Because,
course
like,
he does.
Seth is setting the background that his parents trust him. They don't need to worry about lying. He's been
Right.
going to Comic-Con his whole life. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like, why would you throw that away? Like, I don't want to lie to your parents. He's like, I will lie to them. Don't worry.
Yeah, not even sweating it, right? Not even. I mean, because
Ridiculous.
obviously we're going based off just the kiss, right? Yeah, the kiss happened.
It's changed his life. I mean, it's crazy. And then Sandy and Kirsten are talking about Sandy has this job interview with a private law firm, but they're all laughing because they're like, this always happens. Like, he does this every year. But then Ryan is so sad. He's like, you're not going to be a public defender? It's so cute.
I thought it was such a sweet moment. Like, it was
He's
a very
like, no,
small.
that changed my life. Like,
Yeah.
you can still do it. It was really sweet.
I thought that was a good moment as well. I thought the line, I don't wear hats, that was pretty funny. When they're in in the bedroom.
He's like, this is me here, amigo. Like, it's so funny. He's just, Seth is just,
he goes,
is it full of one-liners.
He picks up this book, Ryan does, and he goes, what's this? An itinerary for our trip. It's 12 pages long. We're going for 2 days.
I love it. I'm an over planner as well, Seth Cohen.
Yeah.
I feel it. But he was doing it. He was like, I don't want you to be sad and thinking about Marissa.
Right. So he's trying to keep his mind occupied the entire time so that they can just go.
But it's really funny because I don't know if anybody listening has been to Tijuana. There's not 12 pages worth of things to do.
Then we move on to see the Big Bad Jimmy is moving out while the kids are out of town.
I hate it.
I'm not remotely okay with anything like this. What this transpired, right? Like, this is the entire episode.
Hiding a divorce from your children to the point where, like, everyone else is starting to find out except them.
Everybody knows they're kidding, which I would question. Everything gets around in this town. Like, how do they?
Yeah, like, how do they not know?
Right. You know what I mean? They're always chitter-chattering with each other.
It's very bizarre.
Another question I had here. We see Luke. Where are Luke's parents?
I wonder if it's weird because Luke is in the intro as like a weekly recurring character.
Right.
And like Summer isn't and Julie isn't.
Right.
But like, wouldn't we see Luke's parents if he's really that central of a character?
Yeah.
It's very bizarre.
It's super weird. Luke is just okay. So they've done the deed once, right? So now Luke is your hungry teenager who wants.
I hate him.
It's Marissa.
I love. He goes, I can't wait to go to Tijuana. It's going to be so romantic. I'm like, Tijuana is disgusting.
And then he says it's going to be so romantic, and all he wants to do is just bang in the hotel room the entire time.
They can do that there,
right? Like,
it's so weird.
I hate it. It's not exactly how the scene plays out, but it really is. Marissa, my dad is hurting. Luke, let's just have sex. Like, it's like that's
it literally is how it plays out. It's horrible. He's such a bad boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Because in a previous episode, he's like, I don't want to talk. Let's just do stuff. And I'm like, no, like, she needs someone to talk to. She's literally like, I'm so worried about him. And he's like, he's 40. I'm like, so is her dad. Like,
but if you think about it for a minute, that's how Julie and Jimmy's relationship is, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's let's not talk. Let's just, you know what I mean? Like, that type of
I want to say Luke and Julie are perfect for each other, but I have seen the rest of this series.
Okay, so Seth is eating at the restaurant again, right? Ryan's at work.
Question: does Ryan work? He's always on a break. Always on a break. As someone who's worked in a few restaurants, absolutely not okay.
And is Seth always there? Like, he's there 90% of the time.
It's so funny. Like, how much money are they paying Ryan that, like, is just going back into the restaurant? Like, literally, like, it's ridiculous. But I love Ryan and Marissa interact, and it, like, is so horrible.
Oh my god.
She's so angry. And he's just like, sure, okay. Like, it's a brutal interaction.
I really want to point out real quick the moment that happened before that. Seth and Ryan were talking about the kiss, and
he's like, "Did it really happen? There were no witnesses."
And Ryan goes, I didn't see anything.
I didn't really think about that, but I'm like, I kind of get like why you would assume it didn't really happen because you're like, like
nobody would put it past Ryan or Seth to put it like to make that up in his head.
Yeah, like it's pretty funny. Like
it is.
And then my next note is I hate Holly, like underlined like 7 times. The
awkward moment between Ryan and Marissa there, she goes, the last time I saw you, your hands were full. Like,
it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
It's hilarious, but I still get, I'm still mad because part of me is just like, come on, like you showed up to the house.
He had a chance to ask her. He just didn't because he got scared by Luke. He should have just asked her to the party. Yeah,
but Luke was in the house.
So I don't care. Just ask. I think they're both dumb.
They're both, they're both equally guilty
each other. But like, I get it. She's hurt. That's the way she responds.
No, I get why she is the way she is, but I'm just saying it pisses me off.
Yeah, because I'm like, you guys just get it together and just be together. It's not that hard. Like,
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I agree with you though. Holly's still trying to get.
When they're at like the table and Marissa's like, "Hey, Halls," and then she's like, "Hi," I'm like, yeah. And then she just like gives Luke and Marissa this like look, and I'm like, "Oh my god, can you just pretend you haven't had sex with him? Like, just pretend."
And then we have Seth and he's like, I'm sure you remember. And then of course Seth is like, it's amazing. I turned out so normal.
It's really funny because Sandy's like, do you have water? Do you have this? Do you have this? And like San Diego is like max 3-hour drive from them. So like, it's really funny. Like he's like freaking out about everything. And then like Summer's out there with all her luggage. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I didn't know you like comic books. And she's like, comic books? Ew. It's so funny. And then Seth's like, she's going for the graphic novels. Like, it was really funny. And then she's like, I'm going to go get Marissa. Like, okay. Like, whatever.
Exactly. I love this part too. Seth goes, this is going to be awesome. Sandy goes, she's hot stuff.
She's hot stuff, son. He goes, she's hot stuff, son. Like, it's so funny.
And then Seth goes, and now it's ruined.
It's so funny. It's so like cute, their relationship. Ugh. Oh man. And then I think the most awkward situation in the whole episode is Jimmy and Marissa. Marissa's like, I'm not going. And Jimmy's like, you're not going? Why are you not going? And he's like, you need to go. I made plans. And she's like, no, I want to stay here with you. We can hang out this weekend. He's like, I can't take care of both of us. I'm like, you're her dad? You're supposed to take care of her. Like, I was like, did I miss something? Like,
oh man, Jimmy sucks, man.
I hate him. I never like thought I felt bad for him, but like, God, he's quite punchable.
He really often. So Kirsten helping Jimmy paint.
Gonna just go on a big limb here. Should not be happening. Super weird.
Awkward. Very
awkward.
Very, very awkward, which I mean, later on it gets brought up whenever she goes to Sandy, hey, are you okay with me doing that? Yeah, of course. Sandy is loosey-goosey, but let's not forget these two have a
history.
Jimmy, and she knows that Jimmy's still in love with her. I mean, that's
what's so like weird about it. Like she kind of likes it, I think. It's weird.
Let's see here. Obviously, oh my God, I hated this line from Summer. I look like Howard Stern.
It's just a weird person to pinpoint to look like.
Random.
But their whole interaction in the car is so bizarre. Like, do they not realize that Ryan and Marissa are in the back? Like, I'm so confused. They're having this full-blown argument.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there are other people in the car.
Yeah. It's
weird.
I didn't understand. I mean, obviously, Seth has it made up in his mind. They had this kiss. Great moment, right?
Does he know Summer, though? Like, her personality at the beginning is just like...
Yeah, she's a straight awful human being. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, who tries to take the wheel?
It's so bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Like, I mean, I understand the moment here.
And then they all get mad at Seth, and I'm like, she took the wheel from someone driving a car.
Exactly.
Like...
Exactly. Like, how are you mad at him? I didn't understand this whole dynamic. I understand why, because he said, I'm going to pull this car over and I'm going to basically, you know what I mean?
Kick you
Like, I'm going to
out.
drop you off on the side of the road. We all know he wouldn't have done that,
Yeah,
right? You know
come
what I mean? Like,
on.
we all know he wasn't going to do that. So
It's
you
so weird.
decide to try to take the wheel while you're
It's
driving on like an interstate where it's like
I don't understand it because she could have caused a huge accident with other people. They could have gotten in an accident.
right.
I just so bizarre.
I mean, I get why they did the accident and set up for them to stay in the hotel room and stuff like that, but I feel like they could have gotten a flat tire or something. Come on. Like
Yeah.
this scene was just God. And can we talk about how when Summer walks into the hotel room?
It's so ugh. I get it though. It's a disgusting motel. Well, it's made up to be a disgusting rundown motel.
Did we pay extra for pubes?
It's so gross. I was like, is this necessary? And just I don't know, but I like when she it's so funny because you can always tell a hotel is not great when you walk into the bathroom. So then they show Summer walk into a bathroom, which we don't see, and she's like, "Oh my god, the bathroom!" I'm like, yeah. It's really funny.
Exactly, it is really funny. So I love this. I love this dynamic right here. Marissa, can we try to be positive? Seth, I'm positive this is Summer's fault.
So
Summer goes, I'm positive I'm going to leave with a rash. Seth goes, so you plan on making some extra money tonight?
So funny. Seth is always with the jokes.
I watched this scene 3 times. This first repeat was because I wanted to write down word for word what happened, right?
So funny.
It's such a great banter, right? But then I needed to watch it again because it's so funny, to watch it fluently. It's just so hilarious to watch this banter back and forth between the two of them. It was so good. I watched it exactly. The money talk is the money talk. Oh my goodness.
This is really painful. I hated this so much. I don't know what happened with the last episode and then this episode with Sandy, but I hated this. Because he's considering taking this job.
Right.
And Kirsten's like, oh my God, why? You don't need the money. And he's like, well, I want it to be our money. And I want to contribute. And she's like, wait, it is our money. And he's like, no, it's your money. And she's like, he's like, you make the money. And she's like, well, you bring the morals and the ideals into our family. And he's like, it's not equal. And I kind of get it. I totally get it.
Right.
And she's really apprehensive about it. And then he says, the only thing keeping you from feeling like Julie is me. And I was like, that was a step too far.
Man.
It's so uncomfortable. So it's very bizarre.
I understood where he was coming from because
Kirsten
likes to remind you that it's her money several times. But you crossed the line, Sandy.
He crossed the line, and I feel like she doesn't do that with other people. She just does it with him only sometimes. She's not very
No, she's not. Everybody knows that she's the breadwinner, but at the same time, her being the breadwinner kind of allows him to do what he's doing, right?
Yeah, he likes what he's doing. And this is kind of like what she brought up last time. If you don't like this, you haven't said anything, and that's kind of on him.
Exactly. It was a very awkward. Again, we had 3 moments now with Sandy in the back-to-back episodes here that are just really, come on,
cringy.
Sandy. Yeah, I'm very, very upset right now. Okay, so before we dive into this next moment, okay, I need to ask you the $1 million question right now: ding dongs or cheese sticks?
I have a question. What are cheese sticks?
I would assume either Cheetos, maybe. Or
then definitely Cheetos.
So let's just go Cheetos are the ding dongs here.
Yeah, I don't like ding dongs. Gonna go Cheetos.
I was very concerned if there was actual cheese sticks in.
Yeah, because I was like, cheese sticks to me are like mozzarella sticks.
Right.
I was like, what kind of vending machine is this?
Right. That'd be they would be gross. They would be.
But they probably just can't say Cheetos.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cheetos.
All right, so me too. Okay, so again, I'm still pissed. Okay.
Also, you're telling me they only have enough money for one?
Yeah, exactly.
There's 4 of them.
They're going to Tijuana.
Yeah, like, come on. I
They're
don't know. Also, like, if you crash your parents' car, wouldn't you tell them? How are they paying for the work on this car? An axle? Isn't that expensive?
Yeah, those are very expensive. Yeah.
Like, what am I missing here? Do they not know? I don't know.
It's situation at all.
It's bizarre. But I like that she's getting really emotional about the cheese sticks or ding dongs because she's actually emotional about like Ryan hooking up with someone else.
Which makes me so mad that she's just still so curt with him. Like, stop pretending like you didn't do anything yourself. Like, I'm not saying she shouldn't be mad.
But she didn't pick until then, to be fair. Like, that made her pick.
Yeah, but she showed up to a party to his technical grandfather's party with the other man. He showed up to her house to ask her to the party, and
but he didn't ask
working
her
around. But Luke was there. Of course, he didn't ask.
Yeah,
her.
but
they made out in the pool hole. They made out in the pool hole, or had a kiss. I don't know. They made out, and then he gets shot, and then she goes and spends however long at the hospital with him. Doesn't talk to him for 2 days. Doesn't talk to him for 2 days.
But like, that's the biggest thing that could probably happen to them is one of them getting like grazed by a bullet. You know, like. I don't know. They both should have talked to each other and should have.
Absolutely. This scene was very strange. I don't know. My favorite line, probably my favorite line of this entire episode, because it's coming from Seth. Seth and Summer arguing over who gets the bed, and Seth goes, "Shiverly is dead sugar."
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's so good.
I just like that he was already in the bed, and she's like, "Can you get out?" I'm like, he's already in it. Like, come on.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, if you try anything, I'll whatever.
Rip out your jugular."
Yeah, I was like, that's a little
so
extra,
funny.
wasn't it?
It was so funny. I loved it.
A question for you. Obviously, I know it was Kirsten's idea, but who tells their kids, a kid, they're getting a divorce over the phone?
But I think she meant, like, you can't let her come back and you not be there.
Right.
Because, like, he's not going to be at the house when she comes back. And all stuff's going to be gone.
Right.
And she's like, you already let it go on to this point. Like, what else was he supposed to do?
Right.
Like, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it was not handled well at all. My question, you just maybe like triggered this in my head. How is Julie staying in the house?
I don't know. I just always remember growing up, like, because a lot of my friends, their parents got divorced growing up. The mom didn't work, and they got the house.
Well, no,
bachelor apartment.
Right, and I expect that, but we're also talking about people that are millions of dollars of debt.
But Jimmy is, and Jimmy could just go to jail. Doesn't have to sell the house.
I guess, but I understand the dynamic.
It's or until the house is sold, maybe she gets to stay there.
Right, yeah, until they kick her out or whatever.
Yeah.
We have such a sweet moment. Such a sweet moment.
Where they're snuggling.
Oh.
It's so cute.
They just wake up in the great camera angle, right? Great camera angle.
Yeah, like moseys on over them. It's so cute.
And he just
I like that she's awake.
And she exactly. So
and then
good.
He wakes up and he's like, "Oh shit." She's like, "I was already awake, bro." Like, it's fine.
Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, I really like that."
I like that he instantly is like, "We don't have to go." Like,
right.
I'll take the heat and say we don't have to go.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, it's fine." Like, whatever.
Such a sweet moment, right?
It's very sweet.
Summer and Seth at breakfast.
I loved it so much. It was so funny because way later they kind of had the same setup, like 3 seasons away. But it was so cute, like sharing the paper, passing the toast, like drinking the same coffee. It was really cute. Yeah, it was really funny to see people pretending to be 17 having like 24-year-old moments, but whatever. Very weird. But then they decide to go to TJ.
Oh, hold on. What? No, hold on. The dynamic at the table is what I've got.
When he like calls her out.
You enjoy my comedy. And you know what else you enjoy? Me. And that's good. She goes, "That's because you are mentally unstable."
I like that she's like thinking about it. She's like, how do I respond? And then she's like, "Do you know what would be nice? When I shove this fork in your eye." I'm like, bro. And she's like, sorry, I suffer from rage blackouts. I'm like, what is that?
Exactly. My favorite thing
So
is she goes, this because you're mentally unstable, and then he goes, be it as it may, not denying that he's not.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. Like, true.
Yeah,
Like,
I
sure.
understand I'm mentally
I
unstable.
understand. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
same.
I've lived in
Moving
this
on.
house for like 17 years, and I've
so
never spent
funny.
any time. Like, I know I am. Like, yeah, it was
It's really funny.
And then she says that with the fork or whatever. I suffer from rage blackout.
Like, what is that? What is a rage blackout? You can just randomly black out? Like,
I was literally going to ask you that question. I was going to be like,
I don't know what it is.
What does rage blackout mean? Like,
maybe
I know
it's like a small person thing. Because, like, I also get really, I mean, I don't threaten to cut people with forks, but like, cut me off when I'm driving. Maybe.
Ryan, something happens, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but Ryan goes, she might be right, Seth. There's a first time for everything.
It's so funny. But like in that moment, Summer was a really great friend to Marissa. She like stopped everything she was doing and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, babe. And she knew that it was a divorce before Marissa even said anything. And it was really sweet. I was like, why aren't you always this good of a friend? I'm so confused.
You're letting Luke walk around cheat on me, you know?
Very bizarre. Very bizarre. But I do agree with them. Like, she shouldn't go home. Like, it would be painful to watch your dad move all his stuff out.
Absolutely.
Like, and Summer even says that. She's like, as a child of divorce, you don't want to be there.
Right.
And I was like, I appreciate that.
Right. This is the first redeemingly good line that we've had from Summer in 7
episodes. I was really like, oh my God, it only took 7. Like,
it only took a 7 for actually doing this. Enjoy what was going on. So let's see here.
When we get to TJ?
Yeah.
And no.
I thought the transition here was to the transition here was to the painting again.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, we go here first.
Well, so Sandy takes another meeting.
Right. Yep.
With Rachel.
Right.
About this job.
Right.
And then at the same time, Kirsten is with Jimmy painting.
Yep.
Okay. Why does he say, have you ever had any doubts about Sandy?
And why does she
converse with him on this? Like, it's very bizarre. And then he's like, have you ever thought about what it would be like if you ended up with me?
Yes.
What the fuck?
And she said yes. She said yes.
It's very bizarre. Like, okay, I understand when you're like, she obviously had like a clear path, like was going to marry Jimmy and have that life.
Right.
But she married Sandy and kind of went the other direction.
Right.
But like, do you really say that to someone? Like,
it's such a weird dynamic because in my head, I'm thinking, I understand how Jimmy feels, right? He's always been in love with her. But
it's just very weird. She
kind of opens the door for him to do what he does.
She really does. It's very
she opens the door. Obviously, she doesn't kiss him back, right?
And she leaves.
But you open the door because he said to you, do you ever think about what it would be like?
And he's very vulnerable, like getting a divorce.
Right.
He's moving out. Like, it's going to ruin his relationship with his kids. Like,
all of this dynamic. And you involve yourself in this conversation, which is very, very, very strange to me. It's very, very weird. And then on top of that, like, Seth is helping her with the case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Sandy is helping him with the case.
Like the lawyers he's meeting with for his new private law firm job bring that up.
Absolutely.
That nobody else would have touched it. And Sandy's just doing it as a friend.
He's as a friend. And then yet we're still here. And it's just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, this is what you did. This is what you did to my man. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you did.
It's very uncomfortable. I hate it.
So bad. It really irritated me a lot. But now we go to Tijuana.
And the first thing Marissa says is, you don't have to come. I'm going to go find Luke.
Yes.
After Ryan comforted her.
Oh, I so love it.
I hate it. But my favorite part of this whole thing is the camera work in this club. because they show Holly and Luke at this bar, like on a downstairs level, and she's like, Marissa isn't even coming. So they go upstairs, and while they're going upstairs, the camera like floats to the door, and then you see Marissa come in as Holly's saying Marissa's not even here.
Yep.
Which is so funny. And then like it's just so frustrating because Marissa looks like she's having so much fun when she's just with Seth, Ryan, and Summer. Like she kind of looks like, I mean, minus the whole they're drinking underage in a different country. They look like teenagers, you know, just having fun, hanging with their friends, like and then they go upstairs and she is actively looking for Luke. And Ryan is like with her because they're in another country at some club. Like she shouldn't be alone.
I appreciate that.
And that's like how Ryan is.
Right.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I love Seth and Summer. They're kind of like in the background, like just being together, and it's so cute. Like Summer, like is so relaxed when she doesn't have to pretend to hate Seth, and I'm like, just be like that, like
exactly.
And then Marissa looks so happy and carefree, and she's trying to find her boyfriend, and then she finds him.
Yeah.
She finds him.
Yeah.
I think he wishes that she didn't. She is not only like dirty dancing with Holly, but making out. Like
making out.
So uncomfortable. And like his face. Okay, Chris Carmack deserved an Emmy for this. His face is so like relaxed and like he's like super sexual, whatever. And the second he sees Marissa, you just see the life get sucked out of his face.
Oh my God. 100%. Like he goes white basically. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's so funny. There's all these lights going on, but like the color drains from Luke.
He had just seen a ghost, right? It's such an intense
like he has really blue eyes, and I swear they were like just no color. Like it was really good. It was really natural. Like if you got caught doing something horrible.
Can we talk about my favorite part of this moment is Holly?
Yeah.
And I'd say why. Well, obviously not bumping and grinding on Luke. I'm talking about her calling out Luke.
Yeah, I do like that. But I think she's kind of like one of those people that gets caught cheating. She's like, well, the whole row behind me is also cheating.
Yeah,
he
cheated on
like it's not bad. It's like I'm not saying
what Holly
I'm not the only one speeding. Like I was speeding to keep up. Like
exactly. Like, I just wanted to be like everybody else and sleep with Luke. You know what I mean?
But okay, so it's just so dramatic, and I also like that it's like a club, and I'm like, could they really all hear each other? Like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't know. Also, can you imagine being someone else in the club that's not with them? So, like, yeah, there's obviously a lot of people from Newport because they said everybody goes, but can you imagine being someone else there, and you're like, what the hell is going down? Like. Because
who are these kids?
Right? So Luke instantly shoves Holly out of the way, like super, like I don't know who this is, and I'm like, shut up, like come on.
It's not like it's a girl that we've never seen before.
Yeah,
we know
like Holly.
We know
it's
Holly.
An intricate part of this plot.
Absolutely.
And then Summer, like and Seth, kind of like surround Ryan and Marissa, and Marissa's devastated. She's like, "How could you like?" What are you thinking? Like, you're so dumb. And then Luke is like, it doesn't matter. It was just like like one time. And Holly is just like, absolutely not. He does this with everyone. Like, what is wrong with you, Marissa? Like, everybody knows. Like, everyone knows.
Why are you
Marissa's
like this has never happened before?
Yeah. And then Marissa's like, are you serious? And it's really funny because she's like looking to Holly, like to confirm it. And I'm like, Holly's the one saying this. Like, she doesn't need to confirm it.
Exactly.
And she's like, she just starts listing all these places he gets girls. He's like, freshman, girls from the college, like all these places. Like it's so funny too because it's like you have to remember if you're watching this for the first time, this is before social media really. So like he actively had to go out and pursue these girls. It wasn't like he had Tinder and was like swiping left and right,
and
like
secretly doing this. He's literally doing it with people in the school, outside of the school, going to colleges, like
anywhere he can. Luke is doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's getting it from somewhere outside of anywhere.
It was just like brutal. And then Marissa like runs out and I don't know why Summer didn't just go out after her and like hung around for the fight that broke out. But my favorite part about the fight is that like Ryan starts it.
Right. He threw the first punch.
But then he's instantly like not involved with the rest of like, because it's like they're at this club with all these people and like,
Right.
a fight breaks out. So everybody gets involved.
Everybody.
But it's really weird. Like Ryan throws the first punch, but then he's instantly like further back.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get sucked into like the little mosh pit that breaks out. It's very weird.
Crazy. So crazy.
It's very weird. But I appreciate it because it brings us to Seth, Ryan, and Summer trying to find Marissa.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they split up. It's very bizarre. Like,
there's obviously, divorce, Luke cheating.
It's a big
Ryan making out with Gabrielle. It's just turned into a lot of junk.
Yeah.
I don't know if these kids have never watched any horror movies, but the last thing you do is split up.
Yeah, you don't split up. Come on.
It's party town. It's the week before school or whatever from this big party deal that we're being told and led to believe these things exist. And you just split up. Like,
it's very weird.
I don't understand, especially like leaving Summer by herself.
Yeah, because I've been to Tijuana a few times. It's not somewhere you really want to be alone, especially if you're like a young teenage girl. Like you'll be like, not even people that are from Tijuana, like other creepy Californians.
People that are there to do they're there for.
They're like, I'm not in the United States anymore. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I'm
I don't know. It's very weird.
Young, good-looking girl walking around. You're asking for by yourself. You're asking for something. You're not asking for them. That's the wrong term, I guess. But you're in this particular situation.
You're putting yourself in danger. That is avoidable.
Which is weird because if you think about it, Seth was very protective of Summer.
Yeah, like he was like really like not guarding her, but like making sure she wasn't alone.
Right, because he even says there, walk away, she suffers from rage blackouts, which I still don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
it was really funny.
it was hilarious.
They were like, this fight's breaking out. Normally he like is making sure Ryan gets out of the fight, but he was like, no, Summer can't get in this fight. She'll kill someone. Like,
right, exactly, which I thought was a very sweet moment, obviously. But then he leaves her.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's a very, very strange moment.
But then Summer finds her at the hotel.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she leaves her alone in a room. I understand she wanted to call the boys after Marissa's like, don't call them.
Yeah. I don't get it.
But it was just weird. Like, she should have taken her whole purse. I don't know. But I guess like at this point, like we know Marissa has like an alcohol problem, but this is the first time Marissa is going to these extremes, I guess you could say. So she takes earlier in the episode when they first got to Tijuana, Summer was like, I have to go to the pharmacy for my stepmom. She gets these pills here, whatever. So then Marissa sees these pills in Summer's purse and takes them and runs.
Question. I've been in a lot of hotels in my life. A lot of them. We're in Tijuana. We already know this hotel is not exactly the Hilton or the Marriott. You're telling me she opened the door, closed the door.
Summer didn't hear?
And Summer didn't hear her. It's not like she was ruffling around and making a whole bunch of noise in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's just...
But I just wouldn't have left her alone. But I guess like this is before texting was like not like super used. Yeah. Like this is when you were still billed for like every message you sent, and they were in another country. So
yeah, exactly.
But like I get that she had to leave the room because she like. But this is like one of my favorite things about this whole episode is like Summer knew instantly when they left that club that Seth and Ryan were going to help her find Marissa. That like they cared about Marissa's well-being, and she could depend on them to help her get Marissa back. And
right, yes.
And then the same thing in this situation, like Marissa's like, I don't want them around right now. But she's like, I need them. Like they can't not help me here. And I think that shows a lot of character growth for Summer. She's like wanting the help and trusts Seth and Ryan.
This is by far my favorite Summer episode. So
same.
Right. You know what I mean? You know, she was a little rough around the edges at the beginning.
She loses Marissa.
Well, yeah. Still
but
confused.
She was trying to do it to get Ryan and Seth to know, like, I have Marissa. She's here. Come back here. Like,
right. Exactly.
But I do agree. Like, hotel doors always slam.
Yeah. So I
don't know.
I was
Maybe
very.
I Googled this, though. This is all shot in Malibu.
Oh.
Not Tijuana.
That's emotionally distraught, right? You know, that's
It's
disappointing.
very weird because Malibu's so beautiful, and they made this look not
They
very.
made it look terrible. Like it was just,
Yeah.
yeah. It again, it's like I said, very, very, very strong moment. You know what I mean? I kind of enjoyed. It was a lot happens right in this
So much.
last 20 minutes of the episode. A
She
lot
goes
kind
to
of
this sketchy, terrifying bar,
right. Yep.
takes these pills with like a shot glass.
Right.
She's a very weird actress. The way she plays this is very weird. She's like really like jerky. I don't know. Like
It's
I don't
yeah,
know.
very.
But maybe like that's like she's having a jerky reaction. I don't know. It was like really weird. But how did she find this bar and why didn't she just like I don't know. It's
I'm
very
very.
weird.
We get so much good. This last little bit of her and you know, taking the pills, ending up at a bar. Yeah, everyone's searching for Marissa here, obviously. You know what I mean? It's very weird. Before we obviously get back to the end of the episode, before we have this moment, we cut back, right? Kirsten, Sandy.
Sandy took the job.
He does.
Kirsten does not tell him.
So, okay. So remember what I pointed this out when the whole situation where she lied. She didn't lie. She hid from Sandy kind of the whole money situation, right?
Yes.
And I felt like the boo-boo was saying
Was the hiding.
Ryan what was hiding it, but then was like, you know what? I'm gonna let Ryan live here now.
Yeah.
It was like the makeup for it, right?
This time it was the job.
The makeup is I'm okay with you getting the job because
I kissed Jimmy Cooper.
right. So
I
it's
did
like,
not.
I feel like she always has a makeup for what transpires with Jimmy to make it feel like it's okay that it happens. It's like, no.
So gross.
Like, and the thing about it is she could have been like, hey,
Jimmy made a move on me.
Jimmy made a move on, and he would have believed it.
Yeah.
100%.
But now she like hit it, and it's like
so disappointing.
Horrible. But it's really funny. They cheers to a good season.
Yeah.
I'm like the show. Like
exactly.
It's so funny.
Exactly.
And then they cut so when they cut back to Tijuana, like the way they filmed it, I was like, I feel like I'm on whatever pills Marissa took. She's like
100%.
all blurry and like I was like, dang. Like it was
How did they find her in this hall? Or in this
I guess like they probably knew she would be going she'd probably get stuck in the crowd of people going like forwards. Right. But they probably knew she'd probably try to get away from it. So they're probably looking down the edges of like all these little alleys. But so I remember watching it like on TV when it first aired, being like, this is horrible because you didn't know if like Marissa's okay, like you don't know. But like I didn't realize how brutal it must be for Summer watching this. Because Ryan picks her up and Summer just instantly turns and cradles into Seth. I'm like, that's like her lifelong best friend looking pretty lifeless. Like, it's pretty brutal. And it was really sad. Like, it's a lot to take in. And she's only 17.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scene. It's the culmination of what's happened the entire episode, like we said earlier. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff's going on. We're trying to figure out, you know, she's depressed. She walks in on the final straw. Not only does she walk down the man she loves, Ryan making out with a different woman. We go to Tijuana. Her dad and mom's get a divorce. He's moving out. And then we walk in on Luke and on Holly getting a freak on in the middle of the club.
Do you think they had sex that night?
Holly and Luke?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Like after that whole thing, though?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, God. It's so
100%.
awkward.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, oh, my God, my girlfriend just broke up with me. Let's still go. But, like, Holly put him on blast. Like, would he still do it?
Oh, come on. It's Luke.
Luke doesn't care.
Luke doesn't.
That's so funny.
He doesn't care at all. MVP. I'm
going to go Summer.
Oh.
I think she could have, like, they've made points to show that she's desperate for her image to look good and to be, like, popular. So she could have not been on Marissa's side for a lot of this stuff.
Right.
But she chose to look out for Marissa.
Yeah.
She confided in Seth and Ryan.
Yep.
She trusted them.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, she went out looking for Marissa and made sure they found her. So I'm going to go Summer.
I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm mad for the second consecutive episode. We picked the same person. For me, okay, it's funny. I write down Seth for every episode. Like whenever I kind of get an idea. All right, these are the people that I'm down to. But exactly what you said. You can't say this is the best character development we've had with Summer in 7 episodes. We actually see her being humanized like we've never seen her before. We're used to just being a ditzy, dramatic, it's all about me, right? This is the first time she's very unselfish and
like
selfish.
I've kind of felt like she was a bad friend to Marissa before, but this time I was like, this is why they're best friends. Like,
right, exactly. This is why this is why they have the relationship that they have. So it very much was very exciting to watch transpire. You know what I mean? It was
for sure.
We finally get summer substance. And it's like a tongue twister, but I did enjoy that. I did enjoy her character development within the episode. I think that was an easy one. You know what I mean? Like it's an easy.
Especially like the last 15 minutes, it kind of like cements like everything that happened with her the whole episode.
Oh, for sure. And I love the dynamic between Summer and Seth. Like that character.
It's really funny. They don't have the same sense of humor, but their humors complement each other very well.
100%. I keep going back to that diner scene. It's so good.
Yeah, it was so well done.
Yeah, it's so
for
good.
Sure.
And that's the thing about it was we really needed that laugh at that moment because obviously we just find out that Marissa's
this whole thing with like Julie and Jimmy and the way Marissa's gonna take it. It was like you needed something.
Exactly. So
we needed some rage blackouts apparently.
Exactly. All right, you got a fun fact for us?
I have to do my favorite quote because I didn't mention it the whole time.
Oh, you did.
Summer goes, "You're Jewish?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's why I feel so comfortable in the desert heat."
I never remember that.
It was so good.
Seth's
jokes about being Jewish are just like so funny.
They're so good. So good.
Do you have a favorite quote you didn't say?
No, I think I said my favorite.
Yeah. Quote. I forgot to say mine. So, my fun fact is not very fun. It brings me back to rewatching this, to watching this live on TV. This episode aired on September 16th, 2003. So think about how it ends, okay? You don't know what's going on with Marissa. The next episode didn't air until 10/29.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you had this long stretch of like, is Marissa dead? Like,
that's a month and a half.
Yeah, can you imagine?
No.
It's because it wasn't renewed as a full series yet. And it got picked up. Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
But I just remember watching this live on TV and like I truly thought Marissa was dead. And I was like, that sucks.
I mean, her body's lifeless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're like in Mexico. Like they're not in like their state. They have no parents. Like how are they going to go to a hospital?
Yeah, there's so many different dynamics going on right there. That's pretty crazy.
So anyone watching this show for the first time, being able to binge watch it, you are blessed.
Yeah, you can watch each and every episode weekly. That's awesome. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the OC Podcast. We really do appreciate the continued support for us. Head on over to the musiccitydrivein.com for a couple of articles that are OC-centric by Kenzie. Give Kenzie a follow at Ken's Venenu. Give myself a follow at Ricky Villar _. Like and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to it. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
I'll see you later.
There you go.